War Eagle as we open the season against the Mercer Bears. This is Mike Amos calling the shots for you, along with Forrest Lee from our studios on South Frontage Street in Troy, Alabama. And we hope that you're doing well on this Friday.
Good morning.
And the Trojan American Legion team continues to win.
They had a great game yesterday. Let's see if I can find those stats. Yesterday's results, St. Joe, Missouri defeated Arkansas 2-0. Kansas defeated the host team, Shelby County, 11-0. Shelby County, their post team, is out of the playoffs. And Troy defeated Jefferson City, Missouri, 12-5. And Mississippi defeated Louisiana 2-1. So today there's 6 teams left. Kansas will play Missouri at 10. St. Joe, Missouri will play Gonzales, Louisiana at 1. And Post 70 will play Tupelo, Mississippi at 4 o'clock today.
In the winner's bracket.
In the winner's bracket. And I've got some stats for you.
Good.
Walker Stallworth from Troy, Alabama. He played at Pike Liberal Arts. He pitched 5.2 innings. He only gave up 2 hits. He was the winner. Two-hitter. So Walker Stallworth took the victory. And batting, of course, again, Troy won 12-5 over Jefferson City, Missouri. Brooks Bryan from Opelika went 2 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs.
Boy, I think he's already signed with Troy.
He has. Yeah. He will be playing for Troy University. Shelton Ario from Rehoboth hit a home run and had 3 RBIs. He was 2 for 4.
Now, who is this again?
Shelton Aurora.
All right.
And let's see where he's from Rehoboth High School. And for Pike Liberal Arts, Darrell Lee was 2 of 5 with 1 RBI. Tanner Taylor from Headland was 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. And Enterprises' Drew Shiver went 2 for 3 with 1 RBI.
What a game.
And picking up the save for Post 70 was Trey Kavanaugh from Enterprise.
Isn't it great, the unreal greatness of what he just said? We're talking about Pike Liberal Arts. We're talking about the kids from
Enterprise,
the kids from all over this wiregrass, that are participating in on this thing.
They have players represented from Pike Liberal Arts here in Troy, Enterprise High School, Rehoboth High School, Headland High School, Houston Academy, Opp, Wetumpka, New Brockton, Opelika, and Auburn.
It's as local as you get, ladies and gentlemen. And if there's any way you can get up there today. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A.
Morning.
Where are you calling from this morning?
Sunny Grayton Beach.
And is it real pretty down there? Are the visitors still down there?
Yeah, there's a lot. We went all the way into Panama City to St. Andrews last night to see some old friends with the girls, and a lot of traffic there, a lot of traffic back.
Well, I know that this is probably considered the last week.
I was right across the street from Hunt's last night.
Where are you? Oh, boy. What kept you from going to get some raw oysters?
We went to the famous Mexican restaurant, Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with that, yeah. It is good.
And they're known for their great steaks. I actually had a bone-in ribeye steak at a Mexican restaurant.
Was it good?
17 ounce.
Was it a good?
17 ounce bone-in ribeye.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Well, I might try it this weekend.
That place is huge. My goodness, there must have been 500 people there at least.
Well, they're doing a Mexican restaurant in the heart of seafood. And Hunt's is the heart of seafood, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you got Hunt's, you got the shrimp boat, you got the famous Uncle Ernie's. A lot of people dock the boat up and go to Uncle Ernie's. Then they got the oldest place down there, I guess, the captain's table. And then they've got 2 or 3 other restaurants. There's a lot of restaurants in St. Andrews.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, I read where the Shrimp Festival is coming back to Gulf Shores It's going to be August 6th through the 9th, 4 days. It's the 49th annual addition to the Shrimp Festival. And they're going to have, of course, entertainers down there. So congratulations to the city of Gulf Shores. The Shrimp Festival is back after about a 2-year layoff. And we were talking before you got on the show, Post 70 won again. They won 12-5. Walker Starworth picked up the win. And Darrell Lee went 2 for 5 with an RBI. And they play again today at 4 o'clock versus, where's that schedule? I got it right here. They play at 4 o'clock today against Tupelo, Mississippi. Troy.
The home of the great Aaron Elvis Presley, isn't it?
Yeah. Elvin Aaron.
Presley's name?
Elvin Aaron, Aron. Just one A, I believe, in his name.
Now, how many teams are in the winners bracket?
We got 6 teams left. There's 2. It's Mississippi and Alabama.
Okay.
And
So let's just say this: they've got at least 2 games left, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully a lot those will be winners. And I know Coach Ross Hickson is excited about this. And man, I watched it. We replay a lot of our shows, and after the replay yesterday with Ross Hickson, our interview with him. What a great interview he makes. I mean, he had a lot to say. If you look at that, watch that replay play on that, you learn a lot.
I tell you what, and I've been around his brother.
What are you trying to say? That Billy Hickson raised 2 good quality boys?
Hey, no question.
Mama too.
And let me tell you something. This kid is a ball coach.
Well, the 2 brothers, those 2 brothers,
Both.
2 brothers are fantastic coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, and their demeanor and how they carry themselves is super. And their sister is the cheerleader sponsor at Pike Liberal Arts, who can hold her own.
They've won 10 straight titles, I believe, something like that. And she's outstanding. And, of course, Billy sits there and said, well, somebody's got to pick up these chickens now, or eggs. Somebody's got to pick up these eggs. So Billy's having to work extra when they're on the road. But where they play today?
Well, they play at the same is it Pelham High School?
Yeah,
the same place, and there are 8 other tournaments going on, or there's a total of 8 tournaments going on throughout the country.
Yeah,
and if you win your tournament, you will advance to Shelby, North Carolina for the World Series. That's in Cleveland County. That'll be next week, August the 11th through the 16th. You've got regions in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, Morgantown, West Virginia, Asheboro, North Carolina, Pelham, Alabama, Midland, Michigan, Rapid City, San Diego, Gillette, Wyoming, and Fairfield, California. And the winner last year came out of Idaho Falls. Post 56 won it last year.
Are you serious, bro?
Out of Idaho Falls?
That's what it said.
So who do we play today?
We will play Tupelo, Mississippi.
We'll play Tupelo, and that's going to be a good one, I'm sure.
4 o'clock.
And does it give us any indication of who we'll throw?
I have no idea. He listed. He had about 9 or 10 folks that could pitch.
That's right, Billy. You need to call us.
I don't even know if he's even thrown Jeff code yet.
No,
he has not.
No, and he's a good one too. And it seems like they're loaded with pitching.
Yeah, he threw the Cashin kid first.
Yeah,
he had a great game. Drew Cashin from Enterprise. He's from New Brockton High School, and he'll be playing at Enterprise State Community College. And then he threw Walker yesterday from Pike Liberal Arts, and he will be going to Southern, or he is attending Southern Union Community College. Yeah. But the other pitchers are Darrell Lee, Press Jeffcoat. I think Trey Kavanaugh pitched just a little bit yesterday in relief.
Is Kavanaugh the kid that played shortstop on the, or is he already gone? Played for Pike, the great shortstop. What was his name, Mike?
That was Eubanks.
Oh yeah,
Casey's he's at Georgia Southern.
Yeah, he's already enrolled.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Casey's at Georgia Southern. You got Shelton Ororo, who's a pitcher. Tanner Taylor's a pitcher. Ray Jordan, Tucker Jackson, Tanner Burleson, Douglas Johnson. So those are your pitchers.
You know, we were looking yesterday.
that haven't pitched.
There's not but one player that actually goes back to his high school team. Is that right?
I believe that's correct.
Two. I think it said two.
All right, two. So all of these others are heading to college and play junior college baseball.
I've got Drew.
A lot of these guys are already in college, I think.
Yeah.
No, I think just two of those, but Drew Shiver is in high school. And according to this list, he's the only one in high school. The rest of them will start their junior college career as far as enrollment this summer or here in August. But Walker attended college last year, and there was another kid who he mentioned, but I do not have
Ross no, he's already gone.
But anyway.
Man, that's it just shows you again the quality of baseball in our area. And I know Billy Hickson has been watching it closely, and we'll hopefully get a talk to him today. Of course,
did you watch the first football game? I watched a little bit of the Raiders.
You know, I didn't watch it. I fell asleep and didn't wake up until today.
They had a rain delay, didn't he?
What about Nick Saban coming out in all his press conference and telling everybody in the country that last year was a rebuilding year at Alabama, even though they were number one seed going into the playoffs and won the SEC championship, lost to Georgia in the national championship game. That sounds like a normal rebuilding year, doesn't it?
Oh gosh, you know, let me tell you, I thought yesterday was fun. Our interview with Mike Bearfield, and of course, he's the owner of Bearfield's clothing store in Ozark, one of the great clothing stores, I'm telling you, in this country. And but he tickles me. You know, he has a lot of contact with Alabama, and it just so happens that I think his daughter or his granddaughter is got a job in Saban's office. So he's pretty close to the program, isn't he?
Yeah. His coat, if that was my size, I believe I'd talk tonight of it.
Oh yeah,
beautiful,
beautiful coat. We got tickets to the to hear the Tams on August the 12th at the Ozark Civic Center. That's going to be a fun time. So call in and get your free tickets to that great show. And of course they're world renowned. And
there's going to be a band tonight at on the square.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I had to look that up. Yeah. I don't know if I had it printed off yesterday.
He was bragging about all these bands, but how about the Park Band? The Park Band's pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah. And one of those boys, the Lambert kid, is getting married.
In the Park Band?
Yeah, he's one of the guitarists.
Yeah.
I saw his mother at State Farm. His mother works for Bryant Smith at State Farm, and I was in there the other day, and I said, well, I don't guess the Park Band will be playing. And she said, no, all of them are in the wedding. This is Jim.
Well, they're good. I tell you what, they're good kids. I've known, of course, their mom and daddy are good people, good friends of mine.
And going back to the Lambert family, he's got a brother who won the Dominoes Championship last year.
Yeah.
The doubles, I believe.
Yeah, in Andalusia.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
He's got an older brother.
Yeah.
Let's see, it's Michael Lambert and Jim.
Yeah. We need to have a exhibition match between Will Matthews and this guy. We appreciate Will calling in yesterday and talking to his old buddy Mike Bearfield. They live right across the street from each other, and of course, Will's family is is one of the oldest families in maybe the oldest family in Ozark, and they all sort of stick together. And they do a great job.
Speaking of clothing, I was looking at a list of the top 14 uniform helmet combinations in the SEC. This is something that an AL.com writer put together. But what would you say is the worst looking jersey helmet uniform combination in the SEC at the school?
Oh, gosh.
Alabama. Probably the worst one. I'd probably say South Carolina. It's in the lower.
South Carolina's number one. Good job, boy.
Yeah.
The guy says it's too busy. White, guard, and black all look great on their own, but if you pair it together, not a very good look. So South Carolina is the worst looking uniform. I'm kind of surprised by this, but I'm not a huge fan of their look. Mississippi State is number 13, worst uniform. Kentucky is number 12. I'm sure Coach Summerall would disagree. Worst uniform. Missouri is number 11. Worst uniform in the SEC. Texas A&M is number 10. Vanderbilt's number 9. Vanderbilt has so many different combinations. Arkansas is number 8. Ole Miss is number 7. I kind of like Ole Miss.
I do.
They
got to be top 2.
I like them too.
Powder blue. Tennessee is number 6. Of course, that's that Tennessee orange. Number 5 is Florida. Number 4 is Georgia. I like Georgia's uniforms. I like their logo too. Number 3 is Auburn. LSU's number 2, and number 1 is Alabama. I guess because this guy must be a real traditionalist when it comes to uniforms.
Alabama is the same uniform for the last 100 since they've been playing.
It's really never changed.
Yeah. You know, they have gone over the years when Coach Bryant was there to the white helmets a few times, wearing white helmets and red jerseys, but he stayed with the red helmets and red jerseys and white trousers, as John Forney used to say. And
did y'all?
Auburn's quarterback got arrested yesterday. T.J. Finley got arrested for a looting police on some scooter.
Oh boy! They're looking for trouble. They're looking for trouble.
Not a good sign for T.J. Finley. I'd already called Zach Calzada as the starter, and said there would be no way Finley would be the starter.
There he is.
Now he's arrested the first day of practice.
There he is, and I'm sure this was just almost a ploy, you know.
He said a misunderstanding.
Yeah, he signed a deal with Amazon. As name NIL, and did we talk the other day about Tua getting married?
Yeah,
no, we didn't get involved in that.
He basically let everybody know in the Miami media that it was disrespectful for them to ask that or find out that, act like he didn't want to, release that information to the public, which is kind of strange.
She's from. I looked it up this morning. She, I think, is originally from Hawaii. But her name's Anna Gore. They met at Tuscaloosa. But talking about the band, this tonight on the square in Troy, it's called the Mojo Hand Band.
Yeah.
There'll be food trucks. They'll be there between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock a.m. Of course, Leanne Wyndham's one of the community directors for the city of Troy. And it says the band members are Michael Catfish Rhodes, Joe McCall, Justin Sanders, I think he's from Goshen, and Lynn Welch.
Yeah, I know Lynn. We have pretty red hair. And what will they be doing?
They're going to be in the band.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know. I know Lynn, that she's a singer and a good one, So
Lynn's the dad, though, isn't he?
Why that?
Didn't he help guitar play? Lynn's her husband, right?
Oh, yeah.
L-I-N-N.
I thought you were telling me Leanne.
No, Lynn.
Oh, gosh.
No, Leanne is the, she does all this event.
Oh, okay.
Leanne Wyndham. Leanne Wyndham.
Yeah.
And they've got another one coming. It says a back-to-school bash on Saturday, August the 13th, a Taste of Troy, August the 19th, a welcome back event, Troy University. So downtown Troy will start hosting a lot of events now that the school will be open on the 17th of August for Troy University.
Of course, Brundage, Pike County High School, Brundage opens their doors on Monday, and Charles Henderson of Troy opens their doors on Tuesday. So, and the rest of them, pretty much all of the Troy City schools are on that Tuesday.
It's Pike County schools Monday, Troy City schools Tuesday. Some schools in this area are starting today.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
If you got to go to school today, honk your horn, honk honk. But but I don't know about you, but I played ball and we were practicing all the time. But opening a school, I think a lot of people are a lot of kids are ready to start school.
The little ones are.
It's been a long summer, and I can see all my friends.
I don't think my little one's ready to start school. I mean, it's gonna be brutal next week when my daughter has to get up at 6 o'clock when she's been sleeping about 6:37 every day. It's gonna be bad. She's gonna be at school. The elementary school, Lakes Elementary down here. You have to be at school at 7:30.
Oh boy!
Wow!
Boy! Well,
is part of that to beat the traffic and to?
Yeah, they do it because of the traffic issues. I think the junior high, which is on 98, I think they have to be there like 8, and I think that's one of the things they kind of try to change the time as far as traffic.
Now you're taking your kids to school instead of going the bus route. You think they're too young to go the bus route?
Yeah, I mean Lee's heading that way going to Al's Beach, so she drops off Mary Prater, and then
that is a state of the art. Mike, that's probably as beautiful a school as there is in America. That is a state of the art.
It is extremely nice, and the crazy thing is it's the second elementary school down here. Butler's been down here, and it's only probably about old, and it has about 960 kids. And then where Mary Prater goes has 960 kids now.
Wow. Now let me make an announcement. Troy Elementary School plus their kindergarten program is bigger in enrollment as those two.
That's about 1,000. I think.
That's almost 2,000 kids.
I know, but we're talking about over 1,000 kids go to Troy Elementary School.
I know, but I'm talking about 2,000.
Yeah, okay. 2,000. I thought you said 900.
What are the grades, Michael? Are they K through 6? Pre-K through 6?
K through 5.
K through 5. So that's a bigger, because it's pre-K through 6 at Troy Elementary. And I saw another thing on Alabama.com, and Dauphin Island, they're proposing restrictions on you being able to rent your home during the summer. They're putting restrictions on, or they're looking at restricting short-term rental houses, Dauphin Island, and there's a pros and cons about that. So,
most
everybody's wanting to go to the beach.
Most all the high schools have been actually practicing since the first week in June, so they're acclimated to most of this hard weather out here.
Yeah, Jody and I, speaking of Mexican, we ate at the new Mexican restaurant here in Troy, and it is fabulous.
Where?
It's right there on the Piggly Wiggly, right there on 231. It's it means Three Brothers.
Oh, it's in the shopping center.
It's in the shopping center where the new car wash is. There's there's a Mexican restaurant there it's clean as a whistle. But then I said, let's just ride by the high school, Pike Liberal Arts, and I need to look at my garden over there.
Yeah.
I got to get some more weeding done.
Yeah.
Well, there was a girl that I used to teach, Crystal Ross. She and her husband have 3 kids. She was in my first class at Charles Simpson years ago with Matt Brown.
Yeah.
But Pike Liberal Arts will be practicing under the lights tonight.
Oh, okay.
Because they played one weekend.
Yes, sir.
In Highland Home. And so if you want to watch them practice.
I'm going to drive by there and see them. And, it tickled me for you to say all these things. You look at Pike Liberal Arts starting a public school schedule of events and so forth, and then Charles Henderson, and then Pike County High School and Goshen High School. There's a lot of good schools out there for people to choose from.
And if you want to go watch some big time football, that first week on August the 8th, when Pike County hosts Charles Henderson, that same night, Luverne and Brantley play a real game in Luverne.
You're right.
That will open up the season. So, and I would kind of like, if I was the coaches, I'd like to go ahead and play that game and get it over with.
Yeah,
that'd give you a time to to get over it if you lost, because that's a kind of a heartbreak if you lose. It kind of, but after.
Hey, Forrest, did you go over the TV schedule Steve sent us?
Yeah, I got that. Oh, let's see if I can
that's
pull that
right.
up.
Yeah, let's go over there. And of course, these games will be played live on Troy Cablevision or TC2, and you can watch it every Friday and night on that channel, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I believe next week they'll be filming both. It'll be either on Channel 2 or Channel 17. They're gonna film and be there for the Highland Home.
How 17 works. I know exactly how TC2 works, but then a lot of these games will be played on Channel 17.
Right. They're gonna film the Highland Home Pike Liberal Arts game, and that same night in a jamboree, Brantley will host Ayrton in a jamboree. And then starting on the 19th of August, you got Pike County hosting Charles Hudson High School. Brantley will be at Luverne. Then the following week, it'll be Highland versus Ayrton. I believe Ayrton will go to Highland Home.
That's going to be a heck of a game.
And then you'll go, Goshen will go to Zion Chapel. So those are the first two games off the bat, the first 2 weeks. But next week, this next Friday, Troy Cable will film and be there for the Highland Home Pike Liberal Arts game in Crenshaw County, and then
of course that is a jamboree, but a fun jamboree that play it just like a real game. So it's going to be fun.
And Ayrton at Brantley for a jamboree on the 12th of August, but the first on the 19th of August, Pike County will host Charles Henderson in a jamboree, but Luverne will host Brantley in a real game on the 19th day of August. That's 2 weeks from today.
All right. The Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need, Mike, and they've got their schedules of they've got the schedules for Troy University. They got Auburn University schedule, and Alabama. So, this is something a lot of people use all the time to keep up with their 3 local teams or 3 favorite college teams, Troy, Auburn, and Alabama. And I tell you, I look forward to it every year. Alabama opens up, of course, on September 3rd against Utah State at home. Auburn plays at home against the Mercer Bears. They won't play Troy, but they'll play Mercer, little school over there. And what's the name of that little town over there? Not big.
Warner Roberts? No,
not little. Macon's a lot bigger.
Yeah, that's right. I know it is. I know it is. And then Troy opens up at Ole Miss on the road. And 3:00 kickoff on national TV. And so all you Troy University fans out there, and we've got national TV against Ole Miss.
I saw a segment, I believe it was on CBS. I read it this morning that experts are picking C.J. Finley to win the Heisman because he had such a great game, his last game in that against Utah. But Ohio State, they're signing quarterbacks and receivers left and right, or people are committing, and they're 5 stars.
If anybody knows the quarterback coach at Ohio State, get him to call our show. Our telephone number is on your screen, and get him to give us a ring at 670.
It could be like Mike Amos. I don't know Mike Amos.
Yeah, I know. If you forget,
Corey Dennis
you
is in the
forgot
office.
that you grew up swimming in my swimming pool. You forgot that, didn't you, son?
Why don't you get Hugh Fountain? I imagine Hugh's probably got his number.
I'm sure he does. It sure does. I tell you what, let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer. All at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly. Local since forever.
How's everything going, Mike? We're going to be down there this weekend. You going to be around? Hey, Mike. Well, are we on break or not?
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
At cost plus 10%, we offer your favorite brands at the best price. At Piggly Wiggly, we keep it simple. We price our products at cost, then add 10% at checkout. We carry all your favorite name brand foods, and we accept manufacturer coupons. Find us on Facebook and see our weekly specials. At the Piggly
Show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Circle Insurance in Ozark. Sam Judah, my good friend, is one of the biggest insurers of in the Dale County, Pike County surrounding areas, and I tell you, a quality man and a quality insurance company he represents.
And his son was a real good baseball coach. I wonder where he's coaching at.
I don't know, but he was a good one, and you're right, I remember him well. We've got a wedding. We've got a beautiful wedding. A beautiful young lady's getting married.
Sydney Elizabeth Armstrong. Her dad is Neil. Her mother's Michelle. And she's marrying a young fella. I think his first name's Will. Cannot call his last name. But they're getting married this weekend at the Methodist Church in Troy. And she and Abby are the same age. Sydney, I think, is 22. And
has the prettiest red hair. I reckon she still has that prettiest red hair, but and beautiful mama, beautiful daughter.
I think she's going to be working for Troy University,
right.
And then she'll be working on her master's, I believe.
Super.
And
so they're going to stay in Troy to begin with.
To begin with, that's correct. And so congratulations to her. And Abby's a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
She rode into town a couple days ago.
Now, who's going to take the pictures since Abby's...
I'm not sure who's taking the pictures, but Abby, when it's a friend, she wants to enjoy the wedding. She really doesn't want to take pictures. And when it's a real close friend, and she and Sydney have grown up since they've been they're in the same class. They cheered together.
How many girls will be in the wedding?
I'm not real sure. Probably 6 to 8.
And of course, that's.
You think Abby will knock a bunch of girls out of the way and try to catch that bouquet?
I don't know. I don't know.
I was wondering how many girls would be ready to try to catch the buffet. Bouquet.
Bouquet. Yeah. Sydney Elizabeth Armstrong.
We were talking to. My friend at the clothing store yesterday, and like we say,
they call him Bear.
I know, and Bear, I like it, and he's very well known in the Ozark area, and he's a great leader, and just loves his hometown like Forrest and I love our hometown and of Troy and Goshen, and he represents his hometown very well, and of course this event coming up next weekend in Ozark with the Tams going to be in. It's a free concert to see the fabulous Tams in concert dance, and then Saturday during the day they've got some 3 or 4 outstanding local bands. K-Jams. A lot of folks know that band. They're going to be out there this weekend at 7 o'clock. I mean, not this weekend, but the next weekend at 7 o'clock with at the amphitheater in Ozark.
They got another band called Britain.
Yeah, that's right.
The Britain, and those are coaches.
Yeah.
A lot of them are from Geneva High School. Coach Stripling, who played at Auburn, his daughter is a great basketball player. Is she playing at Tennessee or at Georgia?
Yeah, I know she's playing big-time college basketball.
I have to look that up. But today is National Oyster Day. I looked it up today.
You know, 4 p.m.
Boy, I was at the Citizen Restaurant, which is a real high-end restaurant that opened at Alf Beach, and they have these famous oysters that come out of Apalachicola, Cape San Bluff area called Murder Point oysters.
Murder Point.
And I was looking at those oysters yesterday, and man, they look so good.
Yeah.
You know, you can still get the great oysters, but you got to pay up to buy them.
Yeah, I know it.
How about a dozen raw oysters at the Citizen go for $39?
Oh no. And I love them too, and I don't love them that much, so I do not love them that much.
I was reading an article about it. It's interesting. Top SEC coaches all time at all the schools in Southeastern Conference history, and it's an interesting article because of some of these names and some of the names you maybe thought would be the legendary coaches. Vanderbilt's top coach of all time is a guy named Dan McGugin. I never even heard of him.
That was way back though, isn't it?
Apparently he won 11 conference titles in 197 games in 30 seasons at Vanderbilt as part of the College Football Hall of Fame in 1951. He coached from 1904 to 1917, and then from 1919 to 34, I guess he went to the war.
Yeah.
Honorable mention is James Franklin. In my book, James Franklin's the greatest coach in Vanderbilt history, the Penn State coach.
Yeah.
Won 9 games twice at Vanderbilt. Other coaches there are Ray Morrison and Red Sanders. Top coach ever at Texas A&M is a guy named Dana Bible. You ever heard of that name?
Yeah, I have, but a long ways back.
Spent 11 successful years at College Station, going 72 and 19, winning 4 Southwest Conference championships.
Well, that was years ago, though, wasn't it?
Honorable mention to other coaches at A&M are Homer Norton, R.C. Slocum, and the great Jackie Sherrill.
R.C. Slocum and Jackie Sherrill, yeah.
Top coach ever at Tennessee, you should know who this is.
Neyland.
Yeah, General Neyland, yeah.
That's right. Neyland coached from 1926 to 34, and then from 1936 to 40, and then came back and coached 1946 to 52.
Golly.
I guess this is because he served in
The war,
Panama during the war, served in the China Indian War, and in World War II.
Yeah, he was a well-known
Won
military
83% of his games overall at Tennessee. Won 173 games in 21 seasons as a coach. Honorable mention coaches at Tennessee: Doug Dickey, Philip Palmer, and Johnny Majors. When was Doug Dickey the coach?
A very good coach, Doug Dickey was. You know, he left Tennessee to go coach at Florida, but Doug Dickey was a premium head coach, and if he stayed there, I think Tennessee would have done well.
Top coach in South Carolina history. Who would you think that would be?
Spurrier.
Either Spurrier or Steve Spurrier.
Or your Holtz. Howard.
That's right. Steve Spurrier is the top coach in South Carolina history. He had a run of consecutive 11-2 seasons from 2011 to 13, which has never been done at South Carolina.
How long did he coach there?
From 2005 to 2015.
Oh, I got
10
you.
years.
Oh, yeah, he sure did.
Other coaches of South Carolina were mentioned: Jim Curlin, Lou Holtz, and Coach Sadler's old head coach when he coached South Carolina, Joe Morrison.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And, you know, Coach Morrison was successful. And then Carnley, what was his name? He was a good coach at South Carolina for a while. But I can't.
Top coach ever at Ole Miss. He coached from 1947 to 70.
No question about it. The old head football coach.
Johnny Ball. had a 24-year tenure
John
in
Ball.
Oxford, including 190 victories and 6 SEC championships. They claimed national titles of 59, 60, and 62.
Yeah. And, the stadium's named after him and everything. He was a great coach.
Other honorable mention coaches at Ole Miss are Billy Brewer, David Cutcliffe, and Hugh Freeze. Greatest head coach ever at Missouri. Who would that be?
No question about it. The great, he coached later on. Coached at Notre Dame and was successful. Tell me who that
It
was.
included an undefeated 1962 finish and stunning upset of Alabama in the 1968 Gator Bowl. Dan Devine.
Dan Devine, and Bear Bryant never beat Dan Devine, and Dan Devine was a very successful coach. He left there and went on and coached at Notre Dame for a while.
Yeah, he won 92 games and a pair of Big 8 championships at Missouri. Top coach ever at Mississippi State.
Cheryl.
Oh boy, I want to say.
This is a name you would not know. Alan McKean.
Alan McKean.
39 to 42 to 1944 to 48.
He later on owned McKean Wilson Sporting Goods in Montgomery and did a lot to recruit a lot of outstanding athletes to Mississippi State.
That's right, yeah. He worked with the Blue Gray All-Star Classic in Montgomery for 30 years.
Yeah, he sure did. And
honorable mention coaches at Mississippi State: Emory Ballard, Dan Mullen, and Jackie Sherrill.
all right, now let me throw a little. Who is given credit for establishing the wishbone offense and establishing the wishbone offense? Who was that man?
I'm going on to say Emory Ballard.
Emory Ballard is given credit for founding the wishbone offense, and and he ran it at Mississippi State, and I think he was at Texas too a few times. But Emory Ballard.
Top coach ever in LSU, Louisiana State University football history.
McClendon? No.
Yeah, it could have been McClendon. I'll take McClendon.
It's actually Les Miles.
That's
is
what
what they're saying. He had a 12-year run. Of course, he lost his job, but he won 77% of his games at LSU.
That's pretty.
Two SEC,
That's pretty good.
Two SEC titles and a national title in 2007. Of course, he played for the national championship in 2011, but Alabama beat him in New Orleans. I was there that night. Honorable mention: a guy named Paul Detzel.
Yeah, Diesel. Diesel. He wanted that. He's the one that coached Billy Cannon, and Diesel. He's the one that founded the famous Chinese Bandits. You ever heard of them? The Chinese Bandits defense at LSU.
And then Charlie McClendon was an honorable mention, and then the great Nick Saban was an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Top coach ever at the University of Kentucky.
Oh boy. Bear Bryant.
Stoops.
That's right. The Bear Bryant, Kentucky from 1946 to 53. Bear Bryant still holds the most victories in Kentucky history with 60. Mark Stoops, the current head coach at Kentucky, is 2 wins away from surpassing Bryant as the all-time winningest coach in Kentucky history. Bryant won 700. His winning percentage was 71%. At Kentucky, he stunned Oklahoma, beating Oklahoma 13-7 in the Orange Bowl to end the Sooners' 32-game winning streak.
That's right.
1953 Kentucky team went 10-1, finished top 15 nationally. So Bryant, everybody talks about him in Alabama, but here he is as Kentucky's all-time greatest coach.
Then he went on to Texas A&M, but that win over Oklahoma was well known. It was on national TV, and Kentucky beat the great Oklahoma coach and snapped that 33-game winning streak.
Honorable mention: a guy named Black Foyer, looks like Serkey, and then Mark Stoops are other coaches at Kentucky. Top coach ever at the University of Georgia.
Oh,
Dooley.
Yeah. What now?
Vince
Right.
Dooley.
Yeah,
Vince Dooley
yeah.
from 64 to 1988. Dooley won one national championship. Kentucky is our all-time wins leader. Of course, he played at Auburn.
Yeah.
Dooley did, didn't he?
Yeah, he
And
played it
Shug
all.
Jordan played at
Yeah.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Did they ever think
Other,
about swapping?
Other coaches at Georgia are Wally Butt, Mark Richt, and Kirby Smart.
Well, those were pretty good ones. You know,
So what are you asking for?
Did they ever think about swapping coaches, Dooley and Shug Jordan, and them swapping and coaching at the alma mater? I don't know if that was ever talked about.
I don't know. That would have been interesting if they would have.
yeah.
Tom Coach Everett, Florida University. Who would that be?
Spurrier.
Spurrier, yeah.
So that means Spurrier's on the list twice.
Yeah, that's right.
He won several SEC championships, won the national championship in Florida. Actually, his only national championship was at Florida.
Yeah.
But
he won two or three national championships at Florida.
No, he only won one.
Just one. Okay, I didn't know.
Urban Meyer's
1996 was
Okay.
his only national championship.
I got you.
I didn't realize Doug Dickey coached at Tennessee and at Florida.
Yes, sir. He left Tennessee to coach at Florida, and he was an outstanding coach.
Another head coach was Red Graves, and I can't believe Urban Meyer is not higher on this list. He won two national championships. He's like third.
Yeah, I know. You know, they had one guy that stayed there too long. He just could not ever win in the SEC, and that was the
greatest coach in Auburn history. Who would you think that would be?
Shug.
Barf.
On this list, Pat Dye is the winner. Pat Dye won 99 games at Auburn, 4 SEC championships in 12 seasons.
Pretty good.
Hard to believe he would be over Shug Jordan, who won, I think, about 170 games.
Yeah.
And the Senator, Tuberville's got to be on
And I'll tell you what, he did it not being fancy at all. You know, his success was just pure gut football. You know, line them up with double tight end sets and run straight at them. That was his
Pat Dye was a 3-time SEC Coach of the Year, 2-time All-American guard at Georgia from 59 to 60. Dye was inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame in 2005. Other great coaches at Auburn, Mike Donahue, Ralph Shug Jordan, and Tommy Tuberville.
Tommy was pretty good. He beat Alabama 6 straight times, and nobody will ever do that again, I don't believe.
Greatest coach ever at Arkansas.
No question. The old man, you know, the great
Frank Broyles. Frank Broyles, the 19 seasons at Arkansas, won 144 games and 7 conference championships at Arkansas.
I'll tell you, he was a great coach.
But you know, Frank Broyles was a star quarterback at Georgia Tech.
Yes, I knew that. And I think he coached there, too, for a while. You know,
He spent many years later in his career as a game analyst on ABC Sports, teaming with the great Keith Jackson.
Yeah, maybe the best ever. Broyles was a great color man. He was super.
Other great Arkansas coaches, Kenny Hatfield, Lou Holtz, and Houston Nutt.
Yeah.
And then the top coach ever at the University of Alabama, who would that be?
Well, I would say Bear Bryant still.
That's going to break Bill Rice Jr.'s heart because he's a big Bryant fan. But Nick Saban is the top choice at Alabama.
Yeah.
All he's done is won 6 national championships.
Oh yeah, well he definitely there, but Bear Bryant won more games though, didn't he?
Yeah, Bryant won more games, but you know, Saban. I mean, what he's done, I guess it's 15 years at Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty incredible.
That's
I mean, the winning
right.
percentage at Alabama is .880.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Bryant's was .824.
Yeah. You know,
But I mean, it's hard. It's hard. You'll have Alabama fans. Older people will always say Bryant. The new generation will always say Saban.
At
You know,
Troy,
you go ahead. I'm
at
sorry.
Troy University, it'd be Blakeney and Billy Atkins.
Yep. That's
Who would
right.
be the third one?
That's right.
Neil Brown.
Neil Brown.
Neil
won.
Brown.
Yeah, definitely Neil Brown.
There's the
Well,
big
Gailey
three.
would have been there if he stayed long.
And Rick Rutwell.
Mike, something one.
Listen, honorable mentioned coaches at Alabama: Paul Bear Bryant, Frank Thomas, Wallace Wade. Gene Stallings was a pretty good coach.
Yes,
He's
sir.
got
He's a good
mentioned.
coach.
Isn't that unbelievable?
He was a great coach. But I will say this: you didn't mention Oklahoma. I don't think.
Well,
no, we're just talking about the current SEC schools.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, I agree with most of that. I mean, if you look at it, it tells you how great of a coach Spurrier was. He's the top coach at two different universities.
Yeah, you're right. He was a great coach.
who stopped that winning streak for Oklahoma when Bud Wilkerson was there? Was it Notre Dame? Who?
I'll tell
they
you
had
what,
like 50-something
I remember
games
so
in a row.
I remember it so well.
Well, I mean, it looks like Kentucky broke a streak of 32.
Yeah, that's right. But they had a 43 game winning streak one time at Oklahoma. Gosh, I think.
It was in the 50s.
Yeah.
They had 47 consecutive games. They won between 53 and 57. Let's see. I'm trying to find who broke it.
You mean Oklahoma's 2 winning streaks?
They had one for 47 consecutive games.
That's right.
Winning streak. Let's see.
I want to say maybe Notre Dame did it.
They usually do it.
I think Notre Dame might have broke it. We're talking about Oklahoma's winning streak.
Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
Oh, morning.
Says, I don't know who was the coach, but the second longest, Washington had a streak of 40 games. Washington
University.
And that was in 1914.
Yeah, okay. That was a while back.
Let's see who the head coach was.
Yes.
Alabama won
28.
31. No, Alabama had a 31 game, but I think they had a tie in between their 31
Well,
games.
I want to say they went 28 scoreless, 28-0 at one time. I want to say that.
Stallings had a run where they won like 31 straight or something like that.
No, Mike Stallings didn't do it, did he?
No, they did with a tie.
Okay.
Said the head coach.
You remember when they tied Tennessee when Palmer lined up at quarterback?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were at the game. I mean, that was the only game I've ever been to in my life where you tied and you felt like you won.
Yeah.
Terry Brennan was the head coach at Notre Dame.
Okay.
And they beat Oklahoma in his first or second year. Never heard
and
of
they snapped that win streak.
Mm-hmm.
But just talk a little football history out there. I hope you're enjoying our show today. We're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back to Today in L.A.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them. Protect them.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC. Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Back to our show, brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy, where they're having another giant sale going on. So if you're looking for new or used cars and trucks, they've got them for you at Premier. Remember, nobody beats a Premier deal. I'm talking about nobody. Back to our show is brought to you by our good friends at Troy Bank and Trust Company. Remember, Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need. Mike Amos, along with Forrest Lee, from our studios on South Brundage Street in Troy, Alabama. And thank goodness it's Friday.
It is a Friday.
We've got some sad news.
Looks like Troy basketball's played really well down in Costa Rica. I've looked at some of their scores, and every single game they played in has been a blowout. I don't know how much the competition, how good it is down there, but looks like they're playing pretty well.
Yeah, and Auburn's in Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike, Troy's in what tournament now?
They're on a
exhibition.
Playing teams in Costa Rica.
Okay,
like
yeah.
El Salvador, Costa Rica. They're on a great basketball trip, and it's got to be great for Coach Cross to be able to kind of get this team to gel together a little bit.
Yes, sir, Ree, and we're going to have him on our show once he gets back. Of course, we've got some sad news to tell you folks, ladies and gentlemen. Two outstanding members of our community have we've lost.
Last weekend, Dr. Joe Maddox passed away, and his service is today at Green Hills Funeral Home. Visitation begins at 12:30, and the service begins at 2 o'clock. Again, that's Dr. Joe Maddox.
And
he was a longtime veterinarian here.
And I'll tell you, let me tell you, what a laugh. No, nobody laughed like Joe Maddox, and he was loved by so many people. And that laugh will be remembered for a long time.
Yes, sir.
I was talking to one of the waitresses at Sisters yesterday, and we were talking about him, and she says, yes, you're right. There's never been a laugh like his. You could hear it all over the room. He wasn't trying to show off. That was just him. He had that laugh that will be ever remembered.
Yes, sir. Well, visitations today at 12:30, and the services at 2 o'clock at Green Hills Funeral Home, Dr. Joe Maddox. Also, Rick Stetson, his service, his memorial service will be next Friday in Montgomery at Leak Memory Chapel. We'll talk more about that next week. But that'll be August the 12th at 10 o'clock. And then he'll be buried later at a family-only ceremony in the Alabama National Cemetery located in Montevallo. Rick Winslow Anthony Stetson.
And
boy, I tell you what, you gotta read his obituary. It is incredible to read.
I've got it.
All the things that he accomplished in his life were unbelievable. I was blown away. That was
I was going to say he's one of the great men that ever walked the sidewalks of this community. Rick Stetson was purely a very great man, and it's going to be.
He was a track star / Army hero. I think he was an Army Ranger, I read.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's an airborne ranger, and he parachuted into the jungles of Vietnam. And that was one of his missions as a jungle expert, and he was awarded the Bronze Star for his heroic and meritorious service as...
I think he qualified for the Olympics, I read.
Yeah. Well, he might have, at a certain age, he might have done it. Let me say this. If you thought you had heard a great voice, you have not heard the voice of Rick Stetson. I loved his voice, and he really did a great job of not only emceeing events in Troy for years, but being associated with the university and being the you heard his voice and you knew you were in Troy.
He
public address announcer.
Public address announcer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Said he got his degree in 1972 in physical education, but he minored in speech. But just tremendous. And then he was at Charles Henson High School for many years.
Oh, yeah.
As a counselor and coach.
And he was a friend to so many people, and
Yeah, I never saw him get mad.
Never.
He
I
always
would,
was the same guy every time you were around.
you're exactly right.
Real positive person.
Exactly right, Mike. No question about it. And
Here's one thing I wanted to mention. He was part of a 5-person team that set a world record for most miles run in a 24-hour period at Troy's Memorial Stadium, covering 227 miles
Can you believe that?
as a fundraiser for the Olympics.
Can you believe that?
And said he loved music. He had a nice record collection.
Yeah.
It's
Let
just
us hear this. I mean, this man is what you call a real man. I'm telling you right here.
This is, like I said, our WTBF.
You know, he and Ralph Black were real good friends, and they worked together at WTBF for a long time.
Right. Well,
Yeah, I didn't realize that he actually fell, and that's how he actually got injured while he was jogging.
Yeah.
And that's
that started
that's what I sent that to some friends of mine I grew up with, and we were sending texts about it, and one of my good friends mentioned, he died doing what he loved.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention this too. He's preceded in death by his dad, Wynn, his mother, Curie, his brother, Peter, and his brother-in-law, Leon. He has 2 sisters that are surviving, Deb and Dee Dee, and my brother-in-law, Ron. He's got 2 sons, Stephen and Scott. And, but Rick Stetson, his real name is, or his given name, Winslow Anthony Stetson. He was 78 years old. Rick, just unbelievable
And
person.
we honor him today on Troy Cable Vision today in L.A. We honor Rick Stetson today. And
we had really great guidance counselors when I was in hospital. You had Rick Stetson. You had Hannigan. Miss Hannigan was super sweet too.
yeah, you're right.
Walter Kay's wife.
That's right.
What was her name? Dade? What was her first name? It was
I don't remember.
Started with a D.
Yeah.
But one thing that when you talk about chill bumps, can you imagine Airborne Ranger, he was inserted by a helicopter and silently crept through Vietnamese jungles. You parachute into a jungle, probably at dark where you can't be seen.
That's right. That's right.
And you probably had to come in between trees and then cut yourself out.
And let me tell you this. I mean, we're talking about a...
And Rick's about 6'2", 6'3".
you're right.
He was big, tall.
You're right.
Joking. He was Mr. Troy State in college.
Yeah, he was.
Mr. TSU.
I tell you, we go on, and the accolades surrounding Rick Stetson are just you won't see a obituary like this much. And
it was pretty amazing how a small town and have such quality people on the radio station. I mean, you had Rick Stetson, you had Ralph Black, you had Jim Rowland, Doc Kirby. I mean, it's kind of crazy the amount of talent they had at WTBF.
You're exactly right, and they were professionals. They really carried themselves well, And of course, Bob Pappy Talbot was a great name at the radio station.
About 2 weeks ago, I ran into Phil Kelly.
Yeah,
And we talked for a long time, and he's doing well. And I called him, and he had already heard about it.
I'm glad.
But that's another great voice.
Somebody asked me. I received numerous calls about Rick Stetson, and and of course I've known him, and so I told him pretty much what I knew. But I said, listen, if you're going to get any information from anybody, call Doc Anderson. Doc Anderson and Rick Stetson were really close, and ran together and everything.
Well, one thing I want to mention too, it says memorials can be made in his honor to the Pike County Alabama Humane Society or to the Stetson Family Kindred. It's a family's nonprofit organization, and they wanted to thank the hospice workers in Rick's final weeks. But you can look up his information at Leekwood Cemetery there in Montgomery, Alabama.
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of any of this, but I'll tell you this: He was a man of great dignity. He walked the walk with great dignity, and he died with great dignity. That's what I know of Rick Stetson.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back with more of Today in L.A. right after this.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them. Protect them.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
So get ready.
You know, you don't even hear about that Russian and Ukraine war anymore, but it's still going on.
No, you don't. You're right. It's like they cut it off. You're right.
We're back.
Back to our show brought to you by Southeast Gas, and of course, with their main locations in Andalusia, Alabama, and of course, numerous stores in Troy and Central and Southeast Alabama. Southeast Alabama Gas, and we appreciate them very much being a strong sponsor on this show. We also want to mention our good friends at Bird Drugs on the Square, and it's getting to be all American group, at least there quite often, and we of course always appreciate Joe Watson, and not only as being a great drugstore guy, the head of that great drugstore, but also that wonderful food that you need there.
Now, we usually see John Key, and who's the Davis fellow?
William Davis came in there yesterday, and
John
Key.
One thing,
and Ben Beard was in
Benny
there
Beard.
yesterday, and it was glad
from
to
the
see
land
him.
of Goshen. You know, I want to mention something about John Key. I read this on the Troy Messenger. I have it online,
Yeah.
subscription, not prescription. But on August the 21st, the historical families of Pike County around Concord and China Grove, they're going to have a meeting. John Key is the event chairman, but they're going to talk about the founders of our county on August the 21st at the Concord China Grove Cemetery. Gathering is what it's called. It'll be at the China Grove Cemetery located on 62 County Road 2302. And we'll mention more about that in the weeks to come. But John, since you brought up John, it was in the paper.
Exactly. And, John is very interested in, a lot of his, or his wife's folks, and came from that area. That's where they came from.
And she a Williams,
yeah,
her
she
maiden
was a
name
Williams,
Williams.
yeah,
Now, her
Williams.
mother, Miss May, was a librarian at Goshen long
I
time
did not
ago.
know that.
Miss May, yeah.
And she was a sweet lady, and then of course Ann grew up with me and ran with the same folks I ran with, and John is one of my all-time favorite friends. He lived right around the corner from me, on Fairview Street.
I think I met her husband one time, Miss May. Was it John Curry? What was her
Yeah,
husband?
that's right, John Curry.
Yeah, and that's
and of course that's his namesake. You know, the young John, his namesake.
And isn't she kin to Maybeth Williams? Is that her sister? Maybeth married David Gibson. When
right.
Jody and I first moved to Troy, we rented the Blue House, the Kaiser Hill home on the Shellhorn Road. We rented it from David and Maybeth, and that house had some unique
It's been around a long
architecture.
time. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Fairview Street. I always hear a lot of people lived on Fairview Street, but that wasn't a very big street. I mean, what is there, like 6 or 7 houses
it was.
on each side?
Mike, let me tell you something though. It was a pretty big street, and let me tell you a little bit real quick. All right, you know where my uncle Shorty went under Shorty Renfro's Gulf Station. You know where that?
I mean, it started where
the Gulf Station
was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the Curb Market. It started right there, and then it went all the way down to where it turned off to go to Orion Street, but you go straight to Fairview Street, and Cheryl Crow would race on, and John Key would race right across the street from each other, and Jimmy Williams and Freddie Bassett was on that street, and then William Davis all the way down.
All the Davises.
Yeah, William Davis and his clan, and that's where William
was Orange Street developed then?
Yeah, and it was developed. Yes, sir.
Is Herbie older?
Orange Street.
Herbie is younger than William, but he was, in fact, and then the Dacre Davis was his daddy's name, and went on down there one time. Chase Riddle lived right there on that corner down there, and it went on down, and the Judge Green lived down there, and it was really a pretty long street, Mike. Fairview Street.
So everybody in Troy lived on that side of town because that's the way the 231 came through.
Well, yeah, that's where 231 went right in front of my house on Orion Street.
How many stores were right in there? Because there's 2 or 3 storefronts. That old brick.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Sheldon Davis's grocery store was my favorite grocery store. He called me Babe Ruth when I was a kid. And right across the street was Ivy's Grocery, and that was a grocery store that stayed open about 7, 8 o'clock at night. And my mama was always, and Steve would appreciate this, was always telling me to go up to Davis Grocery and get some bologna for sandwiches, for fried bologna sandwiches. But I'd go up there and watch him shave that meat, and it really was something back then.
You need
did all these grocery stores have like meat departments, and you could get chicken and steaks and stuff like that?
That's right. Yeah, I never saw a real steak. I never in my life saw a real steak.
The last store in Troy that I saw cut cheese and bologna and all that was the corner store that Sherry, Miss Georgia Ziegler, right there. They used to.
Yeah.
Now they've got all furniture in it too, but you could get cheese and.
What's going to be fun is see what this barbecue house is going to do now. The barbecue house is coming to the corner right there, corner of where Bird Drugs is, the far corner, is going to be a barbecue house, Mike.
Plus it's going to have wine and beer, and you can go there for cocktails, but it's going to be like an upscale barbecue event. It's going to be open every day of the week with the exception of Monday.
Really going to be open Sunday?
That's what it says in the paper. And they're supposed to open up in September, along with Yanni's Meat and 3 and his little side store where you can get casseroles.
And I'll tell you this, Yanni's Meat 3 is very good. The food's very good. And then now, are we going to keep our Italian restaurant?
I hope so. Francesca's.
Yeah, Francesca.
And he still has the pig. The pig's open just for lunch. Yeah. It's not open for breakfast.
I wish back in Troy though, and like where y'all grew up, like so when you were a kid growing up, George Wallace, did that even exist? I mean, was there any houses off George Wallace?
No. There was George Wallace. I don't know if it was named George Wallace.
Like if you would have gone down Crow Hill, I know Crow Hill didn't exist, but if you had left Crow Hill and made the drive all the way up through the University 231, where the bypass is now. I mean, were any of those neighborhoods even developed at all then?
Franklin
When you were
Drive.
growing up?
Franklin Drive was located. That's where.
So there was houses out at Franklin Drive.
Oh yeah, and Highland Avenue and Franklin Drive were they were still there. Those were older neighborhoods.
Okay.
And then
I was always wondering when those neighborhoods got developed.
yeah. Then later on, when they named it George Wallace Drive, which is where I live. I live off Crow Hill, George Wallace Drive, but that's where it went. But they took it all the way down Elm Street.
Crow Hill was not established until what, 73, when y'all built the first house on Crow Hill.
That's right. It was we took Elm Street Road. We took the Elm Street Road and George Wallace Drive and went up the hill to make Crow Hill. That's what.
So that means Crow Hill will be almost 50 years old.
Yeah, that's right. We ought to have a giant celebration. You want to?
Sure.
Oh, we're having a good time on a Friday. I hope everybody's excited. And we got all right, tell us a little more news now. The third day of practice at Troy University, where you can go down, or I do that. I go down and watch them up close, and I love watching them practice football.
Mm-hmm. And again today at 4:00, Post 70 located out of Troy, Alabama. We got a lot of kids from this part of Alabama, southeast Alabama. They'll be playing Tupelo, Mississippi. They're in the winners bracket at 4:00, and I think I get my information by going to the AmericanLegion.org, and I think there's a way that you can go onto that link and watch the games live or see the stats come up live.
Man, I would like to do that. Tell me that one more time.
You can go to the American Legion Baseball.
Yes.
And you just type that in, and it'll pull it up. And then you just hit one of the regions, and we are in what we call Region 4, the Mid-South region. That those games are played at Pelham High School in Pelham, Alabama, in Metro Birmingham. You've had Alabama, Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, and Oklahoma represented. And the state of Alabama has two that started. Post 555 has been eliminated, but the host team automatically gets someone in the tournament. But right now, Tupelo, Mississippi, and Troy Post 70 are the only two undefeated teams left. Okay. And Walker Stallworth had a great game yesterday pitching, and Darrell Lee continues to be hot at the plate. And so good luck to Post 70.
Yeah, it's great. And a good article on Troy University football. Their offensive line coach, Popovich, is the new offensive line coach at Troy. And he spent the last 6 years coaching with the New England Patriots. So we've got a big-time pro coach coaching our offensive line.
I think that'll be a plus.
And, he is, I would think if I had a son that was an offensive lineman, that I wanted him to advance to the next level, which would be pro football, I would want him as my coach. Because he's been there and done that,
Been there and done that.
And I had a good talk with him the other day at his office, and we talked about Brady and all those great players that he coached at New England, and it's just amazing that it's not that far away. Here's a guy that was one of Brady's best friends, and he's now coaching Troy. Offensive line coach.
Talking about football starting. Volleyball's around the corner. Volleyball season starts next week for area high schools, and cross country will be starting up. But
and Auburn getting ready. Now Auburn says that they're not starting practice until till next week. Is that right?
I'm sorry,
Auburn
starts today.
All right, Thursday morning. Okay, they started today, and
interesting game here. I was looking at some of the odds to start the season. Arkansas will be hosting Cincinnati. Cincinnati's ranked 4th coming into the season. Arkansas 21st in the rankings. But Arkansas 6.5-point favorite against Cincinnati. Well, that'll be a great game to start the season.
And
2:30.
Cincinnati is ranked what?
Fourth in the country is what I'm reading.
Fourth in the country, man. And
Utah is ranked up there too.
and Arkansas is a 6.5-point favorite. Well, I tell you.
Ole Miss is ranked 11th going into the season, and they are a 23.5-point favorite against Troy.
I love Troy. They're fixing to be stunned. I don't know if they can win the game, but I can see Troy playing them straight up. I really can.
Also, a game we probably need to definitely watch and pay attention to. Army at Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina is a 4-point favorite at home against Army, so Troy will play Army later in the year.
Yeah.
Be interested to see how Coastal Carolina stacks up against Army.
And then, of course, Army's the same guy that was the Army's defensive coordinator last year is Troy's defensive coordinator this year. And we've got another assistant coach that also that was at Army. So we should know a little bit about Army when we play them.
I think Army's got one of the best defensive ends in the country.
Yeah.
He's like 6'7", 240,
Yeah.
260.
They've got a very good football team, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And that will be part of our that November the 12th will be Armed Forces Day at Troy University. So we honor our armed forces, and we've got a big group from Army is going to be right here with us for that game.
Well, you say you got Fort Benning right up the road.
That's
you
right.
have Fort Rooker,
Yeah.
Maxwell Air Force Base. You know, we have a lot of
Not
flavor.
far from Coach Benning.
Fort
Let me tell you this: one of the towns that people don't talk about, and Troy Bank Trust Company got a branch there in Columbus, Georgia, and also one in Auburn too. But Columbus, Georgia is not far from Troy. If you get in the car and head the old
You go
route.
that back way through Union Springs, you're like Firstboro.
That's right. And
Tie some Goodyear tires on the front
and
of your
I
car.
promise
'cause
you're
come in
not
some
that
beer.
far from being in Columbus, Georgia. And Columbus, Georgia is a big town. It's bigger than Montgomery.
That's right there.
But you don't ever hear anybody talking about Columbus, Georgia much.
We went to I went to a couple of concerts at the Civic Center in Columbus over the years. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
I remember years ago when I was with Gary Stogner in SID, Troy University.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I worked with Gary Stogner, and
He's one of the best we've ever had. I tell you.
Troy University played the Columbus Doughboys in a scrimmage game or something.
Yeah.
We went over there to Doughboy Stadium in Columbus, went through Phoenix City. Of course, that downtown Columbus is booming.
And it's a great town, with a huge, I'm talking about a huge Army base located there, you know.
That's the infantry.
And when it gets time to go to war, they're the one of the first ones that pack their gear.
You know, I don't like talking about it, but you know, after Miss Pelosi left Taiwan, the China military started shooting missiles into the Bay of Taiwan, and their Air Force and naval units went on all kind of maneuvers around Taiwan in protest for Pelosi being there. It was after she left, so anything, I just don't even like thinking about it.
I
There's a
know
lot, hotbed.
And people, I think we're taking a lot for granted. We're talking about they're shooting live missiles over the head of Taiwan. You know.
Well, you know, now we're in conflict politically with Russia, and you know, like we said on the break, it's like we're oblivious to the Russian-Ukraine war now, and now there's some political maneuvering going on with the basketball player. She got sentenced to 9 years.
9 years, and that's it. But another thing, how foolish can you be? Dealing with drugs in the first place. You know.
But I mean, pot's legal, Dad, in 25 states. I mean, she had like a little bit of cannabis. I mean, something like that would be like a misdemeanor charge.
You mean it would,
you maybe would get probation. You know,
I was thinking that it might have been
nine and a half years in a Russian prison.
That's tough. That's tough. And I hate it for her now. I really do.
And she played for a Russian basketball team for years, like to make extra money because she made more money playing in Russia professionally than she made playing in the WNBA.
Oh
So
boy.
she was playing WNBA and in Russia to make extra money.
They need to get some politics involved in this and get her.
They have. Our government, and I don't know what the details, we've offered an exchange. And we're wanting to, what they're wanting.
A really bad guy they're trying to exchange for. I mean, this guy, I think, was serving 30 or 40 years in the United States prison.
Yeah. Well,
hopefully,
something.
this game hasn't been talked about a lot, but Florida State travels to LSU on Sunday, September the 4th. The only football game of the day on that Sunday will be on September the 4th. Florida State at LSU in the New Orleans Superdome. How great will that be?
Oh, man.
And your next head coach at Florida State will be Deion Sanders. Within the next 5 years, yeah.
Okay.
If that guy falls.
Yeah, you're right.
How about
who'd you say you think will be?
Deion Sanders within the next
Deion
5
Sanders.
years? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did y'all talk about? I got a text from Ross Hicks, and he wanted to make sure we had that up to date. And I said, we've been talking about it all morning. But, Notre Dame at Ohio State, that will be, that's the 3rd of September. That's going to be interesting.
There's going to be some super games out there, no
I
question.
think Ohio State's going to wear them out.
Of course, Troy playing Ole Miss in Oxford, Mississippi.
Ole Miss has got to replace their offense coordinator, defense coordinator, and their star quarterback. So maybe Troy's catching them at a good time.
I think it is. I think they do catch him pretty good. You're right. And
they said that Ole Miss. I think you mentioned this before. Didn't they win the transfer portal war?
I have heard that. Yeah, they're big up there. I think Alabama got just 5. I read in a report.
Five stars. They got 5.
Alabama got 5 just unbelievable players. But when it comes down to it, though, Troy is still a mystery quarterback as well. So Troy's got to figure out who their quarterback's going to be. And I tell you what, Dad, watching practice at Troy is a big deal right now. Trying to figure out who's going to be the quarterback.
Yeah,
the biggest thing I feel like Troy has done is when they got those 5 linemen.
You're right.
In the JUCO realm that are on campus. Those are. And they've been playing football.
Yeah, that's right.
For 2 years. And we got them from the junior college level over there in California because we got connections there.
Right. We also want to mention, Arrington and G.W. Long and all those guys will be opening their season soon, and we'll be covering all that high school. And of course, like we mentioned earlier, we've got a television schedule already put together. And we hope that you'll be able to watch your favorite team play on Troy Cable's
Channel 2.
Football Network, Channel 2.
I tell you, Troy Cable definitely ought to try to play some Enterprise games this year, too, because I know Ben Blackman and my coach and stuff, they'll have Enterprise. I mean, that'll be some pretty quality football to watch.
No question about it. Enterprise made a huge coup by getting him to come coach them. He's already proven. And Enterprise is just hungry, and look out for the Enterprise Wildcats. And we'll be bringing some of their games on Troy Cable.
They're scheduled.
Hope you have had a good day this morning. Of course, we appreciate all of our friends that represent us every day, and of course, we're looking forward to a big weekend, and we got a band for us.
We do. We have a band on the square tonight, starting at 6 o'clock. There'll be food trucks there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Take your long chairs or take your pickup, let the tailgate down.
Right. Forrest Lee will be
y'all have a good weekend.
You do too. Have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you Monday.